eligible trade-in.
I'm just waiting for the ads to finish. Okay, I just had to wait for the ads to finish. I had to sit there. Anyways. Well, why that's not the right way to say that sentence. Why are there occasionally like 15-minute ads? Like, I don't need a 15-minute ad. Anyways, welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope that you're having a wonderful day. You know what time it is, and it's time for more Joni Mitchell. I know that we are currently listening to Blue, but it's a long song Saturday, and as such, we got to listen to a long song aside, and now we got to listen to something. So why not more Joni? We're going to listen to Paprika Plains. I almost said Paprika. Paprika. We're listening to Paprika Plains. This is off of Don Juan's Reckless Daughter, released 1977. It takes up the entire second side of the album. I'm really excited for this one. Obviously, Joni Mitchell, and just an inspiration, a genius, a singer-songwriter that will live on in the hearts and memories of people for ages and ages. Okay? But we got a 16-minute track from her. Color me excited. Okay? Like, really, really excited. I'm looking forward to see how this develops and what she does within these 16 minutes. So, oh yeah, usually I call out people who have recommended. I've been forgetting to do that sometimes. I'm sorry. Sometimes I remember. Sometimes I forget, and I'm just like trying to get the song up and everything. Hold on. So Frugal Severin, you recommended this. Porgy T, Benoit, Desmarais, Rico Maggs, Jamie DeMalo, and many, many others as well. So let's go ahead and get this one rolling. Joni Mitchell, Paprika Plains, or is it Paprika? Paprika. Paprika?
It fell from midnight skies. It drummed on the galvanized. In the washroom, women tracked the rain up to the makeup mirror. Liquid soap and grass and jungle gardenia crash on pine sol and beer. Stifling in here. You gotta get some air. I'm going outside to get some air. Back in my hometown, they would have cleared the floor just to watch the rain come down. There's such sky-oriented people geared to changing weather. I'm floating off in time. I'm floating off in time. When I was 3 feet tall and wide-eyed, open to it all, with their tasseled teams they came to McGee's General Store. All in their beaded leathers, I would tie on colored feathers, and I'd beat the drum like water. I would beat the drum like war. I'd beat the drum, I'd beat the drum like war. But when the church got through, they traded their beads for bottles smashed on Railway Avenue. And they cut off their braids and lost some link with nature. I'm floating into dreams. I'm floating off, I'm floating into my dreams. I dream paprika plains, vast and bleak and God-forsaken. Paprika plains and the turquoise river snaking. retreats, like troops to fall on other fields and streets. Meanwhile they're sweet talking and name calling and brawling on the fringes of the floor. I spot you through the smoke with your eyes on fire from J&B and Coke. As I'm coming through the door, I'm coming back for more. The band plugs in again. You see that mirrored ball begin to sputter lights and spin. Dizzy on the dancers, geared to change rhythms. No matter what you do, I'm floating back to you.
Joni, 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 Joni. Oh, God, that ending. Oh. Oh. That ending. Chills. Chills. This is a song about connection. I think thematically as well. But even musically connecting. The song is basically split up into 3 different parts. The intro vocal / piano section, which we're going to talk about, the middle piano slash orchestra section, which we're going to talk about, and then the final just blazing jazz jam, which is, in my opinion, just the best part of this whole track. Just a glorious outbreak and climax there, allowing Pistorius to get down on the bass as he's known to do, allowing Wayne Shorter to blow a few notes, allowing Guerin to get down on the drums. Just a blowout jam there at the end, a grand slam and a home run. Let's talk about the first two parts, though. When it comes to Joni Mitchell, her songwriting is out of this world. It is both cryptic and abstract while still being extremely relatable and based in reality and founded in things that each one of us can relate to. Talking about connection. These three parts, for as different sounding as they are all brought together by great composition, actual attention being paid to the structure of the music and the way that it's being built, and through all of that, it comes together extremely organically and feels less of a song, more of an experience, talking about connection. That first part, which is Joni and the piano, which is just so brilliantly played, very, very jazz inspired without relying on other instruments. And at the same time, it comes across a little bit more stranger and askew than maybe typical vocal jazz leanings. It connects in a completely different way. And she's always had a certain way of delivering her music, where it comes across very personal, very introspective, and to an extent, even rambling. And I mean that with positive connotation, as if she's just speaking straight from the heart without going through the motions of filtering and holding back. She is pure release. Talking about connection. The things that happen in the lyrics we'll talk about. But moving into the next section, there's a little bit of a conflict that happens. Now we've moved on, leaving Joni's voice behind, but just coming up with the piano and the orchestra as they dance, cavort, jump around, hop, whatever you want to say. They are performing some strange ritualistic dance, if you will, some sort of performance together. Sounds completely improvised, to be honest, just because of how sporadic and kind of sparse it is. It's very dramatic. It's a completely unexpected section in the jam, or in the song, I should say. I was not expecting anything like that at all. It's a different kind of drama. It's a different kind of dramatic take that entire middle section takes from the music. Whereas before, a lot of that drama was, of course, delivered by Joni herself vocally. Now we're getting, of course, just her with piano and the orchestra, and the way they clash sometimes even with each other. As if they have a conversation, but they also have arguments and dissent among each other. But then finally, there's a beautiful, fully realized, fully grown and bloomed resolution to the conversation and, one more time, connection. And this takes on a whole new meaning as perhaps the desert has finally sprouted flowers. The colors and the vibrancies which were hidden underneath have now been sown the seeds, and now they are now blooming, erupting forth from the ground with beautiful hues spreading all around the hills and the sides and the fields and everything that we can see as far as the eye can see. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about this track. It's just a flower coming up, a seed planted, a seed struggling to break forth through the ground, and then bloom. That is exactly how I see this song. Let's talk about the lyrics here. As it seems, she's reminiscing on a few things, but then also bringing it to the present. Connection. It fell from midnight skies, it drummed on the galvanized. In the washroom, women tracked the rain up to the makeup mirror. Liquid soap and grass and jungle gardenia crash on pine sol and beer. It's stifling in here. I've got to get some air. I'm going outside to get some air. So I'm probably not going to know any what directly this song is about. But with her lyrics, as I said, they can be as abstract and relatable as you can make it. But she also more paints pictures with words, more suggestive images to kind of put us in her story, like a good writer would do. Back in my hometown, they would have cleared the floor just to watch the rain come down. They're such sky-oriented people, geared to changing weather. I'm floating off in time, floating off in time, floating off in time. And at that moment, the music, if I remember correctly, it begins to fade out, just like she is fading out into a dream. So she's obviously having some nostalgia. She's at least thinking back to other times, as we're going to find out in the next verse here. When I was 3 feet tall, so when she was younger, and wide-eyed open to it all, with their tasseled teams they came into McGee's general store. All in their beaded leathers, I would tie on colored feathers, and I'd beat the drum like war, beat the drum like war, beat the drum like war. So she's reminiscing perhaps to some Native Americans, or natives in general, Native Canadians, I should say, that perhaps she had interacted with, and maybe she fell in love with the culture, fell in love with the people. Who knows? But when the church got through, they traded their beads for bottles, smashed on Railway Avenue, and they cut off their braids and lost some link with nature. Once again, really pay attention to how Joni accentuates these lyrics with the way that she plays the piano. Very well done. I'm floating off into dreams, I'm floating off into dreams. I dream Paprika plains, vast and bleak and God-forsaken, Paprika plains and a turquoise river snaking. So she's thinking back to these times, perhaps times that she never even lived. She's just imagining these plains untouched, these virgin lands before, before colonization. Where crows gaze vigilant on wires, where cattle graze the grasses, far from the digits of business hours, the moon clock wanes and waxes. So I like how she's using, of course, nature, but of course with modern technologies to kind of contrast. But here all time is stripped away. Nowhere on these plains is a sprout or an egg, and evidence to measure loss or gain. Only an Indian band come down from some windy mesa. No women to make them food and child. No expressions on their faces. I'm low in a helicopter, and the wind from whirling blades flaps their woven blankets and flags their raven braids. How came they to this emptiness? How came they to this dream? She's really, really taking an experience, putting us in the experience, and then just pondering and wondering to herself, to us, how did they get there? How did we get here? How are we? How did we came to be? Like a phoenix up from ashes now, a blanket figure springs with a fist raised up to turquoise skies like liberty. And at that point of vanishing where the sky and earth meet, a bomb blooms, deadly mushroom, white gold heat, like a phoenix up from ashes. It's just going. Really, really beautiful stuff here. The rain retreats like troops to fall on other fields and streets. Meanwhile, they're sweet-talking and name-calling and brawling on the fringes on the floor. I spot you through the smoke with your eyes on fire from J&B and Coke. I don't know what J&B is, but maybe a whiskey. As I'm coming through the door, I'm coming back for more, and that's really when the music really, really comes in. That's like when it beautifully just blooms once again. And the ending of the track, I'm floating back to you. Before she was floating away into a dream, but now she's floating back to who? To you, whoever that you may be. And to end and round things off with one more word, connection. Hey, let me know what you guys thought about this track. You can let me know in the comments down below. If you are so interested, you can also like the video before you leave. That helps a lot. You can subscribe to the channel. That helps a bit. You can follow me on Twitter. You can support me on Patreon. Helps me with the channel. Doing more. Getting more done. Doing more. Otherwise, enjoy the Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you all later. Bye.